How far are political parties willing to go to win a single Senate seat? When a candidate is linked to the darkest ideology in human history, does partisan loyalty supersede moral integrity, or is there a line that simply cannot be crossed? Before we continue, if you want to stay on top of everything happening in US politics, hit that subscribe button right now and leave a like. It really helps this channel grow and keeps us bringing you the unfiltered truth about what's happening in Washington. We are looking at a brewing firestorm in Maine. Graham Plattner, the presumptive Democratic nominee for the U.S. Senate, is under intense fire not from his Republican opponents, but from a member of his own party. Representative Jake Auchincloss, a Democrat from Massachusetts, has broken ranks to issue a scathing rebuke of Plattner, labeling his past association with a Nazi-linked tattoo as personally disqualifying. For months, the Plattner campaign has been dogged by revelations regarding a chest tattoo that the candidate had for most of his adult life. The design is described as a Totenkopf, a skull and crossbones symbol famously utilized by the Nazi SS. Plattner, a veteran of both the Army and the Marine Corps, has attempted to explain the ink away, claiming he got the tattoo during a night of heavy drinking while stationed in Croatia back in 2007. He has repeatedly insisted that he was ignorant of the symbol's true meaning at the time. However, the narrative is crumbling. Multiple reports have surfaced suggesting that Plattner was well aware of the symbol's dark historical connotations. This isn't just about a lapse in judgment during a youthful night out, it's part of a broader pattern of behavior. Old Reddit posts from nearly a decade of the candidate's life have been unearthed, revealing a series of offensive statements that have left many voters and even some political allies deeply unsettled. The controversy reached a boiling point when Representative Auchincloss, a Jewish lawmaker, went on the record with CNN to explicitly state that he hopes Maine voters agree with his assessment that Plattner is unfit for office. Auchincloss didn't mince words, arguing that it would be a mistake for the Democratic Party to embrace Plattner's brand of politics. He's essentially warning his own party that turning a blind eye to these character issues could hurt them in the long run, challenging the idea that Plattner represents the kind of candidate who can build a durable, lasting majority for the party. What makes this situation so volatile is the deafening silence from the rest of the Democratic establishment. While top-tier figures like Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer have offered only lukewarm support for Plattner, others, most notably progressive icons like Senators Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, have stood by him. Warren went as far as to call Plattner her kind of man, a statement that has sparked a fresh wave of criticism given the severity of the allegations. This leaves the Democratic Party in a precarious position. They are attempting to defeat Republican Senator Susan Collins, a seasoned incumbent, yet they are anchored by a candidate whose own history is providing ammunition for the opposition. Auchincloss has made it clear that he is not endorsing Collins, framing his opposition to Plattner as a matter of principle rather than a pivot to the GOP, but the damage to the party's narrative is done. The implications here are significant. We are seeing a real-world clash between win-at-all-costs politics and the demand for candidate accountability. If a party ignores a candidate's ties to hate symbols and offensive rhetoric simply to secure a Senate seat, what does that say about the standards of our modern political process? Are we entering an era where any baggage can be dismissed as long as the candidate is perceived as a team player? This story is far from over. Plattner's campaign has remained largely quiet, and the pressure on national Democratic leaders to either distance themselves or fully embrace his candidacy is mounting every single day. The voters of Maine are now caught in the middle of a national debate, forced to decide whether these past actions are relics of an old life or red flags for a future public servant. So, I want to know what you think. Is Representative Auchincloss right to demand that Plattner exit the race, or is the party doing the right thing by sticking to its nominee to win the Senate majority? Does a tattoo from 2007 really define a man's character in 2026, or is the outrage manufactured? Drop your opinion in the comments below. I read every single one, and I want to hear your perspective on this mess. The reality of this situation is that, regardless of the outcome of the election, the Plattner scandal has already exposed a deep fracture in the party's moral compass. As we head toward the general election, keep a close eye on which lawmakers continue to support him and which ones follow Auchincloss's lead. This is not just a campaign story, it is a story about the values we expect from those who lead us. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.